Oops, I'm live. All right, we are going live. Okay, I have Joanne with me helping me out here, and we are doing some things with the technology here. So let me get this off the screen here and move me into the camera. Hi, everyone. We're having some technical issues again. Seems to always happen, like right at the last minute. It made me log in again right at the last minute, so I'm so sorry about that, you guys. But hopefully we'll have some people on with us live in just a few seconds. I know there's always like a 45-second delay, so anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get started. We have a fun card to share today. It is called the Landscape Easel card. If you've done easel cards before, this will be familiar to you. I'm doing it the horizontal or landscape way though. And just going to show you the image of the card right in here. Oops, there we go. So isn't that fun? Hey, Brianna's with us. Hi. I think that's how you say your name. Now I'm pronouncing it differently, right? Brina? Is it Brina or Brianna? The second way or the first way? Let me know. I like to say people's names right. Anyways, Karen's with us, Cecilia's with us, and I have a friend with me today. Her name is Joanne Peterson. She is a member of my Stampers with Art community of stampers, and she is here on my main computer because my boys are at their grandma and papa's right now. They are at my husband's mom and dad's house in Owatonna, which is a couple hours away from us. And they can't be my assistants. And I know a couple weeks ago when I was live before, I promised you all that I would have my assistants with me this time so that they could help with catching comments and questions and stuff like that. But I sent them away because I needed to get some work done. So Joanne kindly came. Brina, thank you so much. Now I know how to pronounce your name. And look at, oh my gosh, is it Katerina from Holland? Oh, wow, you're all the way from Holland coming back. Yay, thank you so much for joining today. It's so fun to see all the people coming. So as Joanne tries to figure out how to work that computer over there, and it's okay if you can't get it to work, but the refreshing screen or clicking the little video button to make it play might help. Anyways, if she can't get the comments to work, it's okay. Then it will be just as if, you know, it's a regular broadcast that I've always done where I don't catch everyone's comments. It's my goal. I have a computer in front of me too. I'm going to press refresh to see if I can also watch comments closer to where I'm demonstrating while I demonstrate. But first, let me go ahead and set up my table here. We are going to do a fun card. And I'm going to just dive right in. It's made with my favorite stamp set from the new catalog. It's called Dandelion Wishes. So let me bring it down to my desktop here. And here is the stamp set, Dandelion Wishes. It's a beautiful stamp set. It has a couple of dandelion images. It has some extra little fun things that float off the dandelions that my husband actually hates because those grow more dandelions and then the yard is awful. But they're very pretty, even though they do damage to grass, right? And then there's some sentiments that are in there. It's a beautiful new stamp set that you might have to have after this card is done. This is the fun fold, so it actually props up like an easel. And let's see if we can get some picture-in-picture here so we can see you at the same time. Tanzania? Wow, cool. And British Columbia, I see Arlene is with us.
And
yay!
6 o'clock tonight in East Africa.
Twyla from Tanzania. That is so awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and share some measurements first. I'm going to move you to my computer screen here. Oh, I better get to the right spot though there we go. Okay, so these are the measurements that you will need in order to duplicate this card. We have the Tranquil Tide cardstock, and that is our base cardstock. It's 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored down the middle at 4 1/4 inches, and then scored again at 2 1/4 or 2 1/8 inches, so that one of those sections is also scored in half. That creates the easel. Some embellishment pieces on the top. The layers for that would be Highland Heather, 2.5 by 5.5, and then the Gorgeous Grape is layered behind that, so it's slightly bigger, 2 5/8. We have Mint Macaron, Whisper White for the label, and we're going to punch those out with the Everyday Label punch. The sparkle glimmer paper just adds an accent of glimmer because Rachel likes glimmer. And then we have the Tranquil Tide ribbon. We're going to use 2 pieces. These are the other supplies that you will need. You can go ahead and take a screenshot, or you can wait till Saturday when I post this to my blog, and I will have all of these things copied and pasted into my blog post at stampyourartout.com so that you can go ahead and just copy from there instead. So let's get you back to seeing the table. All right, let's go ahead and start. We're going to start by cutting our base cardstock. So far, Joanne, who else do we have? Do we have anyone from like another country as well?
Not that I've seen yet.
Okay.
But you're getting lots of people who are all saying, good morning.
Good morning back to all of you too. And I just saw Raylene's comment. She said that she used to make wishes from the dandelions when you blow them into the wind. Yes, absolutely. Oops, I'm cutting the wrong way. Okay, so we want to have our cardstock cut in half this way. So you can cut your cardstock either way when you make a card base. You can go this way or this way. Now this is 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So we're going to go ahead and cut it this way. So you want to make sure that your edge of your cardstock is at the 5.5 mark. And we'll just slice it. We'll move this out of the way. You can make 2 cards from 1 sheet of cardstock. And then we're going to rotate it and we're going to bring it this way into the paper trimmer and use just our scoring blade. I always mark my scoring blade with the word score. The cutting blade I replace a lot, so I don't bother doing that. But as long as I remember that this is the scoring blade, that helps me out. Just a tip for any of you who get confused. So now we have it at the 4 1/4, which is half of 8.5. And we're going to score down the middle by just pressing. And then we're going to bring it to the 2 1/8, which is half of 4 1/4. Melissa wrote, I love glimmer everything. I do too. Okay, so now we have our base cardstock ready, and the other pieces are already cut and ready to go. I have for us the Highland Heather. It's a beautiful light purple, and we have the gorgeous grape, and they go together so well. And so I have them perfectly cut so that they layer on top of each other with just a little hint of that purple coming through. And then I have the mint macaron that's already been punched with the Everyday Label punch. You'll want 2 of those. And then we're going to turn that punch upside down, position it into our Whisper White scrap, and punch 1 more out of the white.
We've got some Canadian watchers.
Canadian, yay! People from Canada. And hey, July 1st is coming up. Is that the Canada Independence Day? July 1st. Happy Independence Day to all of you in Canada. It's just around the corner. Okay, and so we're going to stamp on this piece, and this piece before we put our card together. But let me share with you just the other things that you'll need. You'll need a strip of glimmer paper. And look at this. This is our new, what's it called? It's called, I forgot the name of this glimmer paper. Sparkle. They used to call it Dandelion Wishes. They used to call it Dazzling Diamonds, and now it's called Sparkle. And then we have 6-inch and a 9-inch.
The question is, do you have lemon lime nails?
Oh, okay. Thanks for bringing that up. Who was that?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I can't remember.
Okay, so my nails, you have to forgive me. So these have been, they're in such bad shape. I was actually going to bring this up and apologize.
Is Canada Day.
Oh, good. Thanks, Pauline. I have to apologize. My nails are ready to be changed out. And I was going to bring these up because they're in bad shape, but I was going to switch them to 4th of July nails, but I'm going to wait till this weekend. So you're just going to have to deal with my nails that match the June Paper Pumpkin kit. I try to coordinate my nails with the Paper Pumpkin kits because I do videos for those kits. So yeah, it's on its last leg.
You have a question about when to change the channel in your trimmer, and I presume the blade as well.
Oh, great question. Okay, so we're just going to take a pause real quick. The trimmers, the Stampin' Up! Trimmers, have this little thing that you can remove. This is the channel. It's an extra thing that you can get, and it actually has a ridge on 2 opposing sides, and then it has a flat on the other side. We used to sell a blade, a rotary attachment that allowed us to use the flat side so that we could press that rotary blade against it and cut that way. It's not available anymore. At least I don't think it's in the clearance rack either. But you'll want to have the channel either this way or this way when you use it with the trimmer blade like this. And you'll want to clean it out. You can actually clean that out. Now I haven't replaced my channels, but I've taken my paper snips and I've gone in there and just kind of gone like this. Now you don't want to cut it, so be careful not to cut it, but definitely clean that out from time to time. Flip it over if it's not working right.
Suggestion to use a piece of printer paper under the cardstock, and that comes from Twyla.
Oh, for what? Why would you use printer paper under the cardstock?
To clean up the...
Oh, to clean up, okay.
No, to clean up the cut, I would assume.
Oh, okay, so if you're getting a rough cut. Mm-hmm. Now, I attribute the rough cuts to needing to change out your blade. But I know that there's been some discussion from some fellow demonstrators that some of the blades are having issues. I hope that isn't the case, but maybe it is, I don't know. But I have to change mine out every once in a while because these blades move against the cardstock. That's where the friction is. So instead of changing out the channel, which you would do with a rotary type of blade, a round one that just presses against it, that's when you'd change out this piece. But instead of changing that, you have to change out the blade when you're cutting against the cardstock. That's where the friction is for these kind of blades. Rotary blades last a lot longer, but you have to change this out. I hope that helps. I'm hoping so. Let me know if you have other further questions on that. So we're going to get to stamping, and we have some images here with the Tranquil Tide ink pad.
The purple and Tranquil Tide are a great love of a combination.
They are. And you know what? As a Vikings, we live in the Vikings world here in Minnesota. Most of us do. And so there's a lot of Vikings fans, especially in my house. And so the purple is really great because it definitely screams out Vikings here, especially when you pair it with yellow. But I'm also from Brooklyn Center High School. Wave or give me a shout out if you're one of my former classmates and you're watching live or whatever, because purple was our school color too. And so I'm glad to have the BC Centaurs color back. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp with this image first. I haven't taken the time to put my images on the back of my new stamps yet, sorry, but it clings really well. So we've got the Dandelion image. We're just going to pounce up and down on our ink pad.
If you can tell Barbara Ollinghouse, she says her reminder for live didn't work. It told me video didn't start. Any advice?
There was a live that didn't, that quit. That might have been the one that she was watching. Oh, your reminder for the live didn't work. Oh, you know what? That's because we had an issue. We had an issue. It does this to me all the time. It makes me log in at the last minute. So I thought I was logging in a close enough time to the start, and then right when I pressed go live, it made me log in again. So I had to stop and restart. So I'm so sorry about that. I will try to do it 5 minutes before instead of 10 minutes before next time. So now we're going to go ahead and add images to the inside. This is the outside of the card. This is the inside. And we want to make sure that those floral images are going to be seen when the card is propped open. So we have to have them down towards the bottom half, if that makes sense. Okay?
Kendra Ahmed says you have 2 little fans today. They are fighting over who gets to watch you today.
Oh, Mwah! Thanks for watching, kiddos. And I love seeing the pictures that your mom posts of you online. Thanks.
And
okay.
Twyla says thanks. She'll get some new blades when she can.
Okay. We're going to move to the Highland Heather color now, but we're going to stamp it with the Gorgeous Grape because that coordinates really well. So we just flip and shove into place, and we're going to stamp onto our Whisper White and onto our Highland Heather.
Faith has a question regarding your paper pumpkin bag.
Yeah.
Can you do a video tutorial for that, please?
Oh, thanks, Faith. And yes, I'm glad that you were able to catch that Facebook Live last night on the Paper Pumpkin page. I am actually posting that tomorrow on my blog. So with directions, with a video. That's why I kicked my kids out of the house. I had to kick them out of the house because they I don't know, they're preteens. So fighting happens once in a while. Anyways, so I did videotaping all day yesterday, and today I just have to edit and upload it, and it will go on my blog tomorrow so you can see how to make that bag, because it needs a video. Thank you so much, babe. All right, so when we stamp this, we want to stamp it so that we can see the little spray of these guys. I don't know what they're called, seeds, going across the card. So we're going to do that right up there. And then we're going to stamp the sentiment onto this one. Again, forgive me for not putting the labels on my stamps yet. These definitely could have received labels, but I just dive right into stamping sometimes. So there we go. We have all our stamped pieces ready. I'm going to close this up. Make sure it's pressed all the way when you close it. In fact, we didn't close this one yet either. Okay, now we'll move our stamps out of the way. We'll clean them later, but let's go ahead and start assembling. I'm going to give you a little tip. Don't throw away this stuff from your glue dots, because if you want to use really skinny tear and tape adhesive, where did I put it now? Here it is, underneath my dimensionals. If you want to use really skinny tear and tape adhesive, you need a place to be able to stick it onto so you can cut it. So we're going to go ahead and just lay it along next side this card here. Next side, is that a word? Next side. We're going to put it next side this card. And we're going to stick it onto the glue dot paper so that we can just trim right up into it like this. And it makes a skinnier piece. So if you have a mass load of these to make, like I did, that's what I did to get that skinny piece. Now we're going to set that just here for now because we don't need it right away. We're first going to mount this piece onto our gorgeous grape using our snail adhesive. So now I have a chance to look at some comments. Grape is delish. I love it, Cindy. Yes, it's a very pretty color. And the fact that it's called gorgeous grape makes you hungry. So it's even better.
Jennifer is going to be in Juneau the day of your incentive trip, and she will try to say hi, Rachel, so pay attention to her.
Oh, that would be awesome. Thanks. Yes. And you know what? Private message me so that I can remember your face, and then hopefully we can connect when you're there. That would be so cool. So I'm folding this in half, and then I'm going to fold this in this direction like that.
Somebody loves the tear and tape direction, or the tip, and somebody else wants to make a pop-out card also.
The tear and tape. Okay, a pop-out card. Oh, got it. For future. Okay, got it. Yes. All right, let's go ahead and add this piece, the smaller piece of ribbon, to the back. So now we can take off the tear and tape, skinny tear and tape adhesive, and we're going to just place that right along the back at the top here. And that's going to attach our ribbon, which, you know, if we had that big, huge piece on there, the ribbon wouldn't, I mean, you'd still have some stickiness behind there, and that would be not so fun for the person receiving the card. So now that we have that kind of adjusted on there, we can lift, flip it over. There we go. And we just want to see the ruffle of that, and then we can come in and grab our scissors that is assigned to ribbon only and just trim right through there. So now we don't have any stickies below there. And another thing that we're going to add to our card is the glimmer paper. But the glimmer paper, keep in mind, it's hard to get adhesive on the top. So instead, we're going to focus on getting adhesive on the back side of it. So we'll just run our snail here. Oops, I'm going to move that one on there instead. I forgot my graphics, you guys. There's my graphics. Okay, so we're going to just run some adhesive along here. And using our grid paper as a guide, we're going to put this about, I don't know, a ½ inch from the top, or from the bottom. So there's our glimmer paper, and you can see I'm just kind of using the measurements on either side to guide me, and then we can snip it.
Somebody is having trouble with Wi-Fi, and she's wondering if it's hers or yours.
You know what? I'm guessing since we're seeing a lot of comments that it might be on her end. So sometimes when you go off and then try to come back on, it helps. I don't know if that will help you or not, but sorry about that. Okay, she was saying that she had trouble with Wi-Fi. I don't know. Can you guys hear Joanne? Let me know if you can hear Joanne because I'm not repeating what she's telling me. So here I've got some snail adhesive right along the top above the glimmer paper. I'm not putting it on the glimmer paper because, again, adhesive, it's tough to stick on adhesive onto the glimmer paper. I've found that dimensionals tend to work the best, but I didn't want this to pop up. So now we stick this right onto here like that, and we make sure it's lined up and straight, and press.
Going in and out.
Going in and out with me too. Oh, bummer. Maybe we're having some reception issues. Now we want to tie our bow. So, bow lesson. You're going to take your ribbon and you're going to keep it straight the whole time and then make 2 loops, no twists in it. You're going to take those 2, what I call rabbit ears, and you're going to cross them over each other and just pretend like they're just regular strands of ribbon, and you're going to tie them in a knot. So you bring one through the hole. Okay.
Somebody says,
you can hear Joanne? Okay, good. Good to know. Awesome.
Somebody says video is laggy, but she can't hear me.
Oh, maybe Facebook is having issues today. I'm sorry, you guys.
I can bellow.
So now we have the ribbon tied, and we're going to go ahead and trim the ends. I like to do angle trims on mine. I think it looks really nice that way. And then we can put our glue dots, which of course we have the glue dots here ready to go.
They can hear me, but the video is being interrupted several times.
Okay. So now we put 2 glue dots on the back, and we're going to move this up. In fact, let's just open it up real quick and lay it onto the grid paper again, and then position this so it's about halfway up, and you can see the bottom ridge of the card here is parallel using these lines here to the bottom edge of the card.
Yeah,
and then we
from Quebec just joined you.
Yay! Yay, Quebec! And then we can just stick this down. We don't want to stick it to the front of the card. We want to just stick it down on the inside. And that'll help hold the card when you open it, like that. And then the last step is to put the little sentiment on. And to do that, we're going to attach one to one side like this, and one to the other side. So let's go ahead and slather that with snail adhesive. So
Melissa tried to teach her mom this trick, and I assume it's the tying of the ribbon. But
yeah.
She still hates ribbon, and hates is in caps.
Oh yeah, ribbon. Yeah. It's hard for a lot of people. I know that in my classes, I'm asked to tie things for people, and I don't mind. But that's one of the simplest ways to make the bows. So, all right. So now we have that layered. And we're just going to put that on with dimensionals. So we just need a few dimensionals on the back of that.
When we were in Alaska on a cruise, our girls found huge dandelions by the marina. Photo opportunity coming up for you and your boys with and this stamp set. And this is from Robin Brown.
Okay, good to know. And what time of year was that, Robin, where you found dandelions? Because we have some that are big, but they're not that big. I mean, they can get to be like, I don't know, 2 inches. So,
Karen
all right.
in Ohio says Ohio loves you because she's not having any trouble.
Oh, good. Oh, that's great. Now we have one last thing to add. I almost forgot glimmer. So these are our new glitter enamel dots. And I have used up my purples a lot because I made this card as a swap. So what I did for my swap, since there's 4 different sizes on here, is I used the bigger with the second to the last smallest. So here, we're going to move that so you can see it better. And then I used the second to the biggest with the smallest. Does that make sense? So I paired these 2 and I paired these 2. So we'll just make this big. So you just pick it up and stick it right onto the middle.
Cut one
like that
in half and glue to each end of white piece. Same result and uses less cardstock.
Oh, yeah. You could do that. Yes, I see what you're talking about. You mean, who was that? That was with Catherine?
Catherine Miller.
So, yes, you could definitely do that. You could cut it in half. Yeah. Thank you for that tip. I do things without thinking sometimes. So this is the reason why I did it this way. Now I know. Because I had to punch out a bunch of these as gifts to my Paper Pumpkin subscribers. I made a bunch of things that had mint macaron labels punched out, and I have this huge stack. So I think that's why I just went with 2. Anyway, I just wanted to use them up. But definitely a great tip. And I have to move my ribbon over and center it a little bit better. But there is the finished card. And I want to show you another version. This one I think I actually like better. This is using Pool Party and Bermuda Bay. And then we have the fresh fig color. Isn't that fun? Let me put those both on the table so you can see them.
This set is going to be bought by a lot of people because lots of comments in the positive.
Oh, and you know what? There are so many great samples out there using this set. If you're online, obviously you guys are, just Google Dandelion Wishes or put it on Pinterest or whatever. People are making such fabulous cards with this stamp set. So again, it's Dandelion Wishes. And if you do not have a demonstrator and you need to shop some products, obviously you can see along the bottom, if you go to stampyourartout.com, you can click on the shop button. You can also find the shop button on my Facebook page, which you are all on right now. I'm going to show you the prizes that we are going to draw for, because comments, as a lot of you know, and I forgot to remind you about this at the beginning, but comments and sharing the video and then commenting that you shared gets you into the drawing. We have a fresh pack of glitter enamel dots to give away. And we have a fresh roll of the fresh fig ribbon, which would make lovely cards like this.
Love the colors, lovely card, love the colors.
Yay! And then each person this time will get a card sample along with, they'll get a Dandelion Wishes card along with their prize. Last time, I don't think I gave any cards away. I think I was making them for something else. I'm so sorry about that. So thank you, Michelle. Hi, Michelle. It's good to see that you're on with us. Yay. All right, so we're going to switch to the computer screen so that you can see. There we go. Oops, let's get that off there. We're going to refresh the posts, and I think I'm going to have to log in again because it always kicks me off. Let's see if that's the case. I should probably refresh before I make you go through the pain of this. Oh, it's refreshing. Look at that. Here we go. So on the landscape easel card, we're going to pick a winner.
Love both combos.
Thanks, everyone. I'm so glad that you like the cards. All right, our first winner, and the first winner always gets to choose between the prizes. The first winner is Faith Robinson. Congratulations, Faith. Yay! Thank you for liking my bag, too. All right, we're going to pick another winner. There we go. Let's see who our second winner is. So if you guys, Michelle Huff, yay, thanks you guys. Okay, so if you guys would, you gals, I should say, if you would private message me, then it's easier for me to get in contact with you. You can private message me if you're friends with me on Facebook that way, or you can do it through my my business page, Stamp Your Art Out with Rachel. And again, Faith, you get to pick between the ribbon and the glitter enamel dots, and then, sorry, Michelle, you get whatever's left, but hopefully you like them both. And I don't have the project that we're going to share on July 11th made yet, but I do want to mention one more thing before we go, because we have 2 awesome July promotions going on, and then I will sign off. But let me tell you about the July promotions. One of them, it just makes sense to get the starter kit no matter what, because it's a great deal and you don't have to be a demonstrator and do what we do. You can just, like 95-ish% of the demonstrators do this just for the discount. So get the kit, like Joanne. So get the kit, because next month, starting July 1st, you can get an assortment of 10 new stamp pads for free with your kit, with your starter kit. I know. I know, right? It's already a good deal, and then they're adding that on top of it. So consider doing that in the month of July, and if you do not have a demonstrator of your own, please consider signing up with our group because we have a very fun group, right, Joanne?
We do.
Woohoo!
Nicest
Stampers with Our
group in
Stars.
town.
And we have a fun event coming up online in July that you don't want to miss out on. So let me know if you have questions about that. If you have a demonstrator, talk to them about it because it's an awesome promotion. They just posted it yesterday for us to know about. And then another promotion that's coming up, and I'm telling you now because it's right before the month. And if you're planning to get designer paper, wait a few days because it's going to be on sale. The designer series paper, the $11 and $10 packs, not the specialty, but the other packs, I believe it includes all of them. We'll have to get the details posted, but you buy 3 of them and you get 1 for free. So it's a 25% off kind of savings. And so you could get the starter kit in July, and then you could turn around and make your first order with that great deal and get the discount on top of it. Just saying.
We've had lots of woo-hoos.
Just saying.
Yous, beautiful cards.
All right, we'll see you guys after next week because next week is the 4th of July week, and I'm going to be on vacation. I hope you guys are going to do something fun on the 4th of July as well, unless you're in Canada and you're celebrating on the 1st, or unless you're in some other country and you're not celebrating it. Just have fun next week, and we will see you July 11th for our next broadcast, 10 a.m. Central Time, because that's our summertime. Thank you. Love you all. Thanks so much for joining, and thanks so much, Joanne, for being my helper.
My pleasure. Goodbye, everybody.
All right, bye.